Hello, my dear colleagues. Today I'm going to take you through the manual RMS compressor of the Avantis, dLive, etc. I'm doing this in English so that it can potentially help other people too. So what are we looking at? I've got an example channel here, and you see here I have an example bus. That's only there as a ducker, so you can see that my voice is lowering the volume so that I can talk over the signal. If you're ever in doubt what you're hearing, which compressor you're hearing, you can see it here. Of course, I'll try to shut up while I'm tweaking the control so you can hear only the actual compressor that we're talking about working. All right. Actually, I'm going to lower the release. Yeah. So this goes a bit quicker. Good. All right. So the RMS compressor, this is its default state. You've got a few controls. The most important ones are the threshold and the ratio. The threshold tells you above which input level it's going to start doing something. And by doing something, all a compressor does is turn down the volume. Basically, it's an automated fader. And with these controls, you can tell it what to do and when to do it, how quickly to do it. So the ratio effectively tells you when the input exceeds the threshold by, for instance, 3 decibels, it will only allow 1 decibel to pass through. So it's going to be attenuating by 2 decibels, theoretically. So the higher the ratio, the more it's going to do. And you see this reflected by this graph here. Okay? So we know the threshold, lower, higher. We know the ratio. Then we have a soft knee button. Soft knee just means that around the threshold, it's going to start working a bit earlier. It's going to ease into that ratio. And afterwards, it's going to, after the threshold, it's going to at some point arrive at that full potential. You can see that here. This is a really gentle slope now. And this can yield more natural sounding results. It might be what you want. It might not be what you want. I recommend you start without it first, because without it, you can get like a fixed position. Okay, what do I want this compressor to do? When do I want it to start grabbing, as we say? And this will give you that point. So if I were you, I would start with a high ratio and then set the threshold where you want it to do something. And so you can see that, okay, it's not affecting the signal where I don't want it to work, and it's affecting the signal where I do want it to work. And then we have the attack and release controls. Depending on what you do, these can be very important. The attack is how quickly it arrives to that potential, the promise that you set by the threshold and the ratio. By the threshold and the ratio, it says for every 5 decibels, your signal goes louder than the threshold, I will only let 1 pass. But that's not the truth. It's going to start working, and before it reaches that potential, it can take some time. And you can use this to your advantage, and you can tweak this to your advantage. So this is the standard settings, a quite fast attack and a quite quick medium release. That's good. The release is how quickly it lets go. After it's done what it's supposed to do, and it's not actually supposed to do anything anymore because the signal is below the threshold, it will start to release. It won't jump up like this because that would sound unnatural. It would sound unnatural. It will ease back into its original state. And that's what the release control does. Okay, so over here I have some examples. They were set by, I ripped them from the SoundCloud of Alan Heath. If I cannot use them, let me know, and I'll use something else in the next time. So I'll just turn this on and stop talking, and you'll hear the original voice with the compressor off. The only thing I did to it was cut some low end because there was some rumble.
I didn't know you. I didn't think.
So this is the input, and this is the output.
True.
The compressor is off at the moment, but you could see that it would do something here. in this graph. Even if it's off, you can already see it'll grab this.
You need my loving, baby.
And those peaks are a bit loud. I would like to hear them a bit softer.
Baby,
so I'm going to start adjusting the threshold here.
Never let you down. I didn't know you. I didn't think that it was true. But when you hold me,
See, it's doing something. All right, I'm going to turn it on.
deep inside, I know you need my loving, baby. Can I be the one to save
So if I increase the threshold, the ratio now, it'll start doing more.
Never let you down.
So now it's set to infinity. It's
I didn't
as
know
bad as it gets.
I didn't think that it was true. But when you hold me,
Did quite a lot. Did 10 decibels there quickly.
deep inside, I know you need my loving, baby. Can I be the one?
And you can start to hear it working now. So it's doing a bit too much. Let's ease off on the ratio.
You down. I didn't know you. I didn't think that it was true. But when you
Ratio 1 to
me,
ratio 1 to 1, of course it's not doing anything.
deep inside, I know you need my love.
Do a bit more.
Baby, can I be the one to save you, baby? Be the one who never lets you down.
I'm going to lower the threshold a little bit so it starts acting a bit earlier.
I didn't know you. I didn't think that it was true. But when you hold me,
That's good. That peak is...
deep inside, I know you need my loving, baby. Can I be the one to save you, baby? Be
All right, I kind of like that.
who never let.
Just going to turn it off. Now we're going to start tweaking the attack. So the attack is the amount of time it takes for it to actually reach that full potential. If you set it very quickly, it'll work like almost instantaneously. And that can sound a little unnatural. It can sound as though the source is sort of away from you. It's distant because you don't hear those initial impulses of the sound. That's what we call the transients or the attack. So actually, if you if you lower the attack time on the compressor, you're actually removing attack from the signal because the compressor attacks the signal very quickly at the start, so it's removing the attack of the sound. It's not always what you want. So I'm going to set it at its quickest now, which is 30 microseconds. I'm going to turn it on. You'll notice it'll do more, and it might sound a bit distant.
I didn't know you.
I'm going to lower the threshold to exaggerate it.
Think that it was true, but when you hold me
See?
deep inside, I know
That doesn't sound natural.
need my loving, baby.
So now I'm gonna raise the attack time, making it slower to react.
Save you, baby. Be the one who never lets you down. I didn't know you. I didn't think that it was true.
Now it seems a bit closer again.
But when you hold me
All right, let's put the threshold kind of where it was before.
deep inside, I know you need my loving, baby.
So that sounds natural. So that sounds kind of natural. Now, what the release does
be the one who
is make it go back quicker.
lets you down.
So at its quickest,
I didn't know you. I didn't think that it was true. But when you hold me,
you'll hear that the crackling bits in his voice, all the breaths and stuff, they get accentuated because the compressor is getting out of the way very quickly. I usually rather like that in music. Some people hate it, so it depends on what you want. And even in a speech, it can make a difference. I like to start as quickly as possible, and then if I don't like it, I'll ease it off a bit.
I didn't know you. I didn't think that it was true.
This is very slow.
But when you hold me deep inside,
See, it doesn't even get the time to completely recover before it has to work again.
loving, baby, Can I be the one
Super quick again.
to save you, baby? Be the one who never lets you down.
So play around with
I
that.
didn't know you. I didn't think that it was true.
If you're mixing music, then the release control will actually also have a musical function. You can sort of let it come up before the next beat starts, or you can make it longer so it doesn't fully recover before the next beat stops. Or, there's several things you can do with that. Even like if you have a snare drum, for instance, the snare drum will also have like a reverberant sound that gets picked up by the microphone from the room it's in. If you have a really quick release, then you will hear that reverberation from the room. If you have a longer release, you'll start to also suppress that reverberation. Either situation might be what you want, but it gives you some control over, over the sound. Okay, so I hope you like this tutorial. You have to really experiment with these things. Next time with a new example, I'll also show you what the sidechain filters do. It's not too important for this, but I'll show you on the next example. All right, cheers.